A power player in media, who do you think about? You may say, well, maybe the Murdochs, they own News Corp, they own Fox, Wall Street Journal, maybe Reed Hastings, Netflix, maybe a little bit of Bezos, maybe Musk. Do you know a power player is quietly coming up that 2 years ago nobody was talking about? It was a small little company called Skydance, $1 billion in top line revenue, maybe $100 million in EBITDA is what they had. Yeah, they co-produced Top Gun. Yeah, they co-produced Star Trek and a couple other movies. And then all of a sudden, they buy Paramount for $8 billion. You know what Paramount owns, just to kind of give you an idea? Transformers. It owns Pluto, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon. It owns CBS News, Free Press, CSI, The Godfather, Mission Impossible, NCIS. And then gradually, these guys make an offer to buy Time Warner? What? Yeah. And it's going to get approved? Who are these guys? Wait till you hear who we're still about to own. Here's Time Warner, by the way. They're going to own Discovery. They're going to own HBO. They're going to own HGTV, TBS, TNT, TLC, CNN, DC Comics, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. And on top of that, guess who else they're about to own? TikTok.
Game, set, match. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a big deal, and I don't think it's getting enough attention, in my opinion. It's, for those of you who don't know, this is the Ellisons who are acquiring these assets, is what I would call them, and they're doing it at a pace that is just really incredible to watch. I mean, he's gonna I unpack this a little bit more, but let's get into it. I'll give you my thoughts on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. Spooky times.
You know who we're talking about that? We're talking about Larry Ellison's son named David Ellison. That's who we're going to talk about today. If you value added this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. Larry Ellison. Do you know what Larry Ellison is worth? He's worth $365 billion. You know how much his net worth has increased just this year? Almost $150 billion just in 2025. So naturally, if he's got a son, his son's going to be ambitious. So he's like, hey, son, you want to do something? Run a business. Hey, dad, I took Skydance from 0 to $1 billion with $100 million EBITDA. I think we can do more. Let's go buy Paramount. Let's go buy Time Warner. Let's go buy TikTok. A lot's been going on. And this happened, Skydance, in 2010 when they first formed. And then they bought Paramount last year, $8 billion. We talked about it earlier. And then now they're talking about Warner Brothers at $20 a share. Could be worth tens of billions of dollars, depending on them picking it up or not. I don't think anyone's going to stop him, to be honest with you, because he's been a friendly player with the White House, so they're probably going to prove it. So now you got Skydance, they buy Paramount, they buy Time Warner, and then you get TikTok? You tell me who has that. Elon's got X, massive. He doesn't have a CNN. He doesn't have a TikTok. He doesn't have, this is a very, and by the way, craziest thing is, whenever they ever talk about who Elon Musk's mentor is that he goes to for advice, you know whose name comes up? Larry Ellison. Where Elon's like, look, I'm going to be buying up, Tesla. You may want to put some money into it. He's like, how much money do you think I should put into it? Maybe I'll give you $1 billion. He said, well, listen, it's not like I need any money, but I would put 2 instead of 1. Ellison's like, no problem, I'll put $2 billion into Tesla. They have a very, very good relationship. At one point when Elon was going through challenges, he got on his jet and he went to Larry Ellison's place, I think in Hawaii, one of the islands he owns, just to have a meeting with them. And then he came back and he says, hey, you may not want to be too strong in your relationship with Apple because you need Apple. You're being a little too tough on Apple. That's a company you need because your app is on Apple. So very, very smart business.
Okay, a couple things here. One, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. 2, relationships matter. Who you interact with on a daily basis can either bring value to your life or either, take away the real substance of, things that you need to get after. Your time, right? And you don't want to waste time because I don't know about you guys. If you just pay attention to what you look around, what's going on, you can quickly see how these partnerships that I don't want to say have been in the shadows, but they haven't been so mainstream are now mainstream. My takeaway is people need to start partnerships and we need to start networking. We got to come together as far as business goes. And you know, you may have a good idea and you may not be the best at executing X, Y, or Z. You need to go find those players in your team and build a team that all you guys can go find things and eat off of it. Because the way things are changing and how quickly they're changing, I, I don't know that if you don't get after it now, if you'll be able to keep up. And that's not to like scare anyone or fearmonger, but it's just the reality of where we're at. Y- All of these wealthy people are working. That's number one. That should at least be a cautionary tale, right? Why are they going back? None of these guys have to work anymore. They don't have to do these deals. 300 plus $1 billion working. 80 something years old, still working. Yeah. I mean, from the president down, just think about it. Everybody is working. And I don't know, you have to ask the question why. So in my mind, it's a season of start uh sowing and harvesting all at the same time because these guys are buying up assets left and right. So uh that's my number one takeaway. This is time to get to it. And partnerships matter. And how you treat people matter. Second thing I want to say is mentorship, or third thing rather, mentorship. Mentors matter. I mean, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk is probably going to be the first trillionaire in our lifetime, and he has a mentor. That should tell you everything you need to know. Get around people, and a mentor doesn't have to be someone older than you, just someone farther enough ahead of you who you respect and you know who has your best interest in mind and can speak, life into your situation and what you got going on from a business perspective. Um, I don't discount a mentor. Don't and not a mentor is not someone that's going to take advantage of you. Look, at he went to his mentor and said, you may want to invest into this. He came with him with the opportunity, and his mentor's sure, you know. So don't discount that. Get around people who are going the same direction as you, and go find something to be great at. Doesn't mean you're going to be a billionaire, but it means that you're going to give yourself the best possible chances to be successful. And I think that's my takeaway. Let's see what else he has to say here. Just to real quick touch on that real quick before we start the video again. There's so many points in my life that I wish I had a mentor that I myself know I would be so much further along had I would have had a mentor. And it's not for lack of trying or asking. It just wasn't in a good environment to where I had the guidance, right? But having said that, I don't make excuses. It's just reality. One thing about me is I don't have a fear of failing. It sucks, but I don't have a fear of it. You don't know what you don't know, but you got to try. And I think most people get caught up on not wanting. They get fear grabs them, and they just can't move. Right? They're, oh, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose that. But you don't know what you don't know, and you'll never get ahead if you don't. I'm not just saying make stupid, uneducated guesses, but I'm saying do the best you can with the knowledge you have of where you're at and go for it. So that's my takeaway there. Let's see.
Businessman. He owns 41% of Oracle. Now his son is becoming a big power player, but at the end of the day, we may not have anybody in the world like this right now. Reed Hastings, he owns Netflix. He's the leader of Netflix, biggest shareholder, but he doesn't have a social media play. These guys now do with TikTok. All right, so you may say, well, Pat, I mean, I know maybe you're building this too much. Like, what's their actual revenue? All right, let's talk about it. So check this out. Netflix's revenue this year is guesstimated to be around 45 billion in 25. Disney is roughly 93, 94 billion in 25. If you take Skydance, which is $1 billion, with Paramount, with Time Warner, and you combine TikTok, you know what you get? Ready? $93 billion in revenue. Overnight, you're 2 times as big as Netflix, same size as Disney. Overnight. That's
Okay, just real quick, we'll recap about revenue. Revenue is great. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather have it, right, than not. But revenue is all, you know, um, top line. Meaning, like, if you look at your budget, you have your top line, right? Your revenue, then you have your expenses, then you have your net. What's at the bottom? I would be curious to know what all of these estimated net, because you may have, if you make $1 million, but you only net 100,000, well, that's not a great business plan, right? But if you revenue is $1 million and you, after all your expenses, you net $500,000, now you have something. So I would be curious. I mean, don't get me wrong, having a net of a whatever I think was billion something, not bad, but I'd want to know what the net is. But I wanted to throw that in there as a quick little comment there.
Skydance for you. And keep this in mind, the average person is going to look at it and say, oh, they're going to be a media company. No, Larry is Oracle. He owns 41%. They're going to be using the information they have of Paramount and Warner Brothers to get the global subscriber data, what they can do with the ad inventory, the IP. Imagine how that's going to be used. And then the US government, when they chose the buyers for TikTok, 80% of TikTok's going to be sold. They're allowing ByteDance to keep 20% of it as a minority, but 80%, one of the main one's going to be Oracle. And check this out. Oracle's role stores all US TikTok user data on its servers, oversees TikTok's recommendation algorithm under license, holds a major equity stake in the new joint venture. And you know what they're buying it for? You look at what Facebook is worth. So Facebook is worth roughly $1.8 trillion. You know what they're buying TikTok for? $14 billion. An absolute discount is what they're getting it at.
That is
Talk about a flywheel of everything feeding each other. This is essentially the ultimate flywheel. Give me a better comp. Tell me one company that has influence now with movies, production, you know, their own OTT, and on top of that, one of the biggest social media companies that goes viral, that has data of people around the world. Who has that? Nobody has that today. They may, overnight, be the biggest power player in media. Now, some of the people that are watching this, maybe you're technically like, no, Sky.
Man, I'm just kind of, it's incredible to just watch, to be honest with you. The strategy there is awesome. What I will say to that is you can implement that in any business. It doesn't have to get the numbers out of your head. I mean, don't get me wrong, numbers do matter, but get that out of your head for a second. If you own a real estate company, you're a real estate agent, and you look at deals all day long, and you could potentially have 3 different businesses right there, maybe more, but let's just go with the 3. One, you're a real estate agent who finds deals, right? You find a house, you have a renovation business, and you, or not a renovation, but a flip business. You buy houses under market value, then that's that's business number 1. Number 2, you also help people buy and sell, right? Whether you be residential, commercial, doesn't matter. 3, you also have a part stake in a construction company as well. So you generate the deal, you also rehab the deal, and then maybe you sell it, maybe you choose to keep it, either way. So you're basically creating a system to where you're now creating your own little flywheel, whatever he said, where you're the one responsible for bringing in the deals, cleaning the fish, executing it, doing all that stuff, and you got your own system going in. So it's like this circular, you get this little ecosystem that's happening in your business, to where you're getting to eat not one time just off you selling a house and you get a commission, but no, you get the 3 different times off every deal. And that's a good approach to how you need to think about it moving forward. Doesn't mean you have to own 100% of the company, or a company, but have a stake in all of those companies to where every transaction, like these guys, you're getting a piece of the deal. Whether it be 20, 30, 40, whatever, doesn't matter. The point is you're eating off of this, revenues coming in from all these different sources. Great model. Subscribe and hit the like button.
That's didn't buy TikTok. It was Oracle. It's father and son. You know what I'm saying? Like, father runs Oracle, who is acquiring TikTok. Skydance's son. When the father is no longer around, do you know how old Larry Ellison is? He is 81 years old. He looks good. I actually think he's going to go to 100, right? So say 19 more years. He goes to 100. Who is David going to be 19 years from now? Damn. Talk about a real. David's going to be a trillionaire overnight, if you think about it, because Larry's going to be a trillionaire in the next couple of years, the direction they're going. And now when you think about the partnership they're creating, where now Oracle invests into NVIDIA, NVIDIA invests into OpenAI, OpenAI invests into Oracle, the ultimate flywheel of them helping each other out. There are some incredible. People say, I created a partnership with the local real estate office. I created a partnership with OpenAI and NVIDIA. That's Oracle. Pay very close attention to these guys. It's going to be very interesting what happens, but based on what it looks like, if they sell none of their assets the next 20, 30 years, anybody that becomes president, anybody, before they even run for president, hi, may I meet with Larry, please? And David, why is that? I'm thinking about being the next president of the United States. Get in line. We got 62 other people that want to meet with us. Maybe we can meet with you end of the year. That's what's about to happen with those guys. They're officially #1 power players. The way that it's look like once all these deals get closed. Okay, so if you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want all the notes of what I talk.
Shout out to Patrick Bet-David. I'll leave a link in the description for this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but this is the time to get active and get after it. All right, catch you guys on the next one.